by several lengths. The train developing with speed. Final two. Oh, what happened there? Jelle is gone. Tries to eye up Momo. What about diving to the inside there? Headed as the mid-pack is, as here it comes. Snowstorm. Look at this. Momo right on the tail of yellow line. Good function. Marble diving into that first turn. Down the front stretch they go, drafting between the three of them. If you enjoy drama, we had heaps of it in the previous Grand Prix at Misty Mountain. But now, we return to an old favorite, the Savage Speedway, steeped in Marbula One history for the Savage Speedway Grand Prix. This is the last race that all of these marbles are going to be able to compete in the season. Remember, you have to split it evenly between you and your teammate. Several marbles are pulling double duty after the Misty Mountain Grand Prix and the last race. But who will come out victorious? We have a lot of qualifying and a few stages of it to go. We'll explain that momentarily as Skip and Ocean start things off, weaving down this, again, familiar track. You'll notice the twisty sector on the far end of the circuit in front of the grandstands, weaving its way onto this front stretch, the blast down, and you'll see our first time as Skip swings around the final right-hander for a 25.406. Ocean comes next with a 24.476. 3 stages of qualifying. In the first, all 20 marbles will run. The bottom 4 will not qualify for the weekend. 16th through 9th, those will be set. And the top 8 will have their times erased and move on to a 2-lap shootout in Q2. The top 4 from that will advance to another 2-lap shootout to decide pole. Minty Drizzle in the far distance there behind Lemon Lime, who comes across in second place. Minty Drizzle usurps in second place too. One of those marbles that's pulling double duty started 12th and finished 12th at Misty Mountain, was 15th to 13th at the Mo Motorway before that, for a team that sits toward the bottom of the overall standings. Minty Maniacs need to get something going. So too does Team Primary and Raspberry Racers, for that matter as well. Team Primary DNQs in their past 2 Grand Prix attempts. 2 out of 3 DNQs for the Raspberry Racers. A 3rd place here may help that somewhat. Prim goes to 2nd place, just 7/100ths back of what's looking like a decent time from Ocean. Now Snowstorm, one of those marbles that DNQ'd back at Pallet Park, but had a top 5 back at the Race Forest. Prior to that, 2 more DNQs in a row. It's feast or famine for Snowstorm thus far. Jelle, who actually they set identical Sector 1 times, 19/100ths off. Snowstorm comes across 3rd place, not too bad. What can Jelle do? Riding the curbs around and a top 5 thus far. Coming up next, Honey for the Bumblebees. Marble that has also DNQ'd 2 of the last 3 attempts, and then Clementon right behind. 9th to 14th at Misty Mountain in the previous Grand Prix, and wants to make amends for that plummet down the order. Needing to make up some time, though, both of them over a 1/4 of a second off in the first sector, similarly so in the second. Honey comes across in 7th, Clementon for the O'Rangers in 4th. 14/100ths off, an identical time down to the 100th for Snowstorm. Several of these marbles being limited by the track, perhaps more so than their own abilities. They are locked together. We're only halfway through the order. Tumult and Azure on track right now. Tumult, our 2nd place qualifier back at Pallet Park, en route to a 4th place finish, but you can see that gap closing up with Azure behind. It was a difficult first sector, but purple for Azure. Tumult comes around the final right-hander for 11th, the slowest time thus far by a wide margin. Ooh, and Azure lost it in the 3rd sector. Also qualifies down in that bottom 4 for now. That scoring pylon, of course, remember, it's the bottom 4 that do not qualify, so until the final runner has gone, those orders can still change. Waspy coming up now, along with Starry. Waspy, our winner, back at Pallet Park, has also not qualified earlier. Starry comes across in 7th place. What can Waspy do? Trying to keep it off the walls. That's a quick way around, but lost too much time prior. Bottom 4 thus far, and that's nervous times as we work our way up the order with Shock and Momo. Shock has had a terrible time, really a terrible second half of the season, 3 straight DNQs, while Momo in the meantime had 1 and then got a couple of top 10s after that. Shock comes across second place, though. That's much better. What can Momo do? 11th. Surprising, as we now get into the final few marbles. That bottom 4 starting to sweat. Speedy comes across now to start the lap. Smoggy also right there, our 3rd place runner back at Pallet Park. Of course, teammate Hazy won last time out at Misty Mountain. Speedy, 2 straight second place finishes. Also got a second place in qualifying in there. Speedy goes 4th. Smoggy ready to come across now. Ooh, 13th, just barely out of the bottom 4. As we start to get into guaranteed qualifiers and guaranteed elimination. Skip and Tumult will not make it, regardless of where Billy and Redeye qualify. Azure and Waspy are waiting and hoping. Redeye a quarter second off through the first sector. Billy half a second and holding steady through sector number 2. Down the front stretch, across the line in 13th. That's not good enough. Redeye will come across now and gets provisional P1. That was a great lap from Redeye, who Crazy Cat's Eyes definitely needed it after a 13th place qualifying and finish for Yellow Eye. In fact, heading into this one, Redeye and Speedy, depending on who will move on, this has big implications for the overall championship. With just a couple of Grand Prix to go, Q2 is underway with Redeye leading the field. Prim goes into second place in front of Ocean. Then it is Speedy back and forth as they drop down onto the backstretch, winding their way to the far corner of the circuit. Redeye is holding the top 4 at bay. It's those bottom 4, though, that will be eliminated if they don't start making up some order. Those bottom 4 currently led by Clementon. Shock in there. Snowstorm, Minty Drizzle well back off the field. Up they come the conveyor belt. One more time in Q2. Redeye's lead is a wide one. Not so much worried about that. Speedy is also in one of the transfer positions. And now it's Shock up into 5th. Snowstorm, Clementon down there. Minty Drizzle gets by for 7th place, but can Shock get up one more spot? Ocean takes the lead in the meantime. And that gap looks to be a bit too much. Here comes Shock trying to advance, and I don't think it's going to happen. None of the back 4 will. And there you have the eliminated Shock, Snowstorm, Minty Drizzle, and Clementon. In the meantime, Crazy Cat's Eyes are going to have a run for pole position with only the 4th place team in the championship anywhere close. Everybody else is in the bottom of the order. Ready for Q3. And the run for pole. Will anybody deny the Crazy Cat's Eyes? It's Ocean that starts up front, but doesn't stay there for very long. By the end of the 3rd sector and the drop, Redeye has taken it back, and Speedy up into 2nd place, and is closing on Redeye. Speedy knows how many points are on hand this weekend, and you can sweeten that by 1 if you get pole. A good draft there, weaving back and forth. Redeye keeps Speedy behind, but they'll be side by side as they come up the belt. Ready to start the final lap to decide pole position, and a better exit goes to the Crazy Cat's Eyes. In fact, Speedy looks a bit shocked. Ocean may have to pounce if possible. Half a lap to go. Redeye navigating through those weaving turns back and forth. Speedy close, but not close enough. Is there any speed down the stretch? No. Redeye will capture pole position in front of Speedy, and Ocean will head the inside of the 2nd row in front of Prim. That is exactly what the Crazy Cat's Eyes need. If they win this race, they will win the championship. Those bottom 4 eliminated, wondering what could have been, but look at where some of the championship contenders are also. Crazy Cat's Eyes, though, win, you win it all. That's a good position to be in.